Sam Smith along with Al Bernstein here for round 7. Junior middleweight championship fight between Davey Moore, the champion in the red, Roberto Duran, the challenger, as they go after that WBA World Junior Middleweight Championship. Al Bernstein, Davey Moore has been beaten and battered, but gamely comes on here in the 7th.
And Duran continues to use the jab well, and he has just battered the body of Davey Moore, not to mention his face, as evidenced by the cut and the swollen eye and the bloody lip.
A warning from the referee to Davey Moore for holding. Other than the first minute and a half of this fight, we have seen non-stop action by these two junior middleweights, with quite obviously, from the looks of Davey Moore's face, Roberto Duran getting the best of it.
Boy, a warning there with all that's gone on in this fight. Ernesto Magana has been taking kind of a laissez-faire attitude about refereeing this fight. He has just decided to let things go as they go.
Roberto Duran has used the infighting to his benefit tonight. Moore has been somewhat unsuccessful at keeping the fight at long range where he needed it here tonight. And Roberto Duran has tagged him almost with a left and right of equal ability. There you see a left to the body and a right to the head.
9 out of every 10 boxing experts that were polled before this fight said that Davey Moore would be the winner. And they are surprised right now looking at this.
Now, of course, to amplify Al's comment, Magano has come up with 2 warnings to Davey Moore in this, the 7th round. You can see the blood streaming down the face of the champion now. Look at Roberto Duran just kind of saying, hey.
He sneered at Davey Moore and said, that didn't hurt.
A left hand by Duran sends Moore reeling back to the ropes. Duran looks a little tired. He wanted to just catch his breath there for a moment.
But Davey Moore is just so fatigued.
Davey Moore has now walked into the office of Roberto Duran and is paying the heavy taxes right now. Closing in on the 32nd mark of round 7, and Duran has Moore definitely in trouble here in the 7th round. Left hand to the body.
Duran putting his punches together so well, just ripping shots to the body and the head of Davey Moore.
Moore gets that right over the top. Now the left right. Oh, Moore is down. A left right, a big strong right sends Moore to the canvas. Moore slowly to get to his feet. He staggers to his feet. Magano gets the count up to 8. Moore said yes, he's all right, as the closing moments of round 7 have seen Roberto Duran send Davey Moore staggering to the canvas, and there, the closing seconds of the round, and Duran at the end of the round has gone to the wrong corner.
Roberto Duran, I guess, forgot where he was supposed to go, but he didn't forget anything in the ring. Just ripping Davey Moore to the delight of this packed house at Madison Square Garden.
The road map's not in Pandemonium here. The crowd in Pandemonium maybe here at Madison Square, as you see Davey Moore really being worked on.
Well, we will see in the last round the knockout, the overhand right by Roberto Duran. He had done much to set this up, and you are looking at really a beaten Davey Moore. And there, Leon Washington in the corner was working with Moore, trying to see what he can do, and you have to wonder if Moore will come out.
You see some various angles of that powerful right hand of the challenger Roberto Duran, as Davey Moore takes an unceremonial seat on the end of his pants. And now the bell to answer round 8, and Roberto Duran may be smelling blood here for the 8th round. Moore, a beaten and battered man at this moment. Most of Madison Square Garden on their feet. The pride of Panama, Roberto Duran. The man from the Bronx, Davey Moore, battle in the 8th round, but it's been Duran's fight.
Davey Moore trying to fight back, but Duran has it all left.
This one could be over shortly as Moore continues to reel around the ring with that big right hand of Duran, the biggest weapon of the night.
And the body work continues from Duran, accentuating what he's done to the head of Davey Moore. Moore just looks beaten. You have to wonder if Magana might not step in and stop this fight.
He looked into his eyes there on that last clinch and break. Was satisfied, but now Moore has turned into a punching bag, and this one is almost over in the 8th, it appears.
We have to wonder why the referee isn't stopping it right now. Moore in all kinds of trouble, and Duran just ripping shots.
Roberto Duran has beaten Davey Moore to a pulp here through 8 rounds. Davey Moore, give him credit, as gamely tried to hang on. But that may be the illustration how the fight has gone, hanging on by Davey Moore.
Moore is just so fatigued, so hurt. He has virtually nothing left. Just sheer courage keeping him in there at this point.
He just staggers into Duran. Ernesto Magana, the referee, not looking at Moore. Oh, look at the right hand.
Not stopping.
Moore is out on his feet. Moore is literally out on his feet. Duran keeps pounding away. Moore just hangs on, trying to keep on his feet. Ernesto Magana finally steps in, and this fight has now been stopped.
With no protest from Davey Moore. Finally, Ernesto Magana kind of lackadaisically stepped in between the two fighters. And the Madison Square Garden crowd simply erupts. Roberto Duran back all the way in what is a shocking win over Davey Moore.
The new junior middleweight champion again, Roberto Duran. There you see a beaten and battered former champion Davey Moore in the shadow of his home in the Bronx here at Madison Square Garden.
Disappointment etched on his face, as well as Leon Washington, his coach from his amateur days and on into professional. But for Roberto Duran, a happier moment.
Roberto Duran. Pepino Cuevas went down in 4. Now here in the 8th, a TKO over Davey Moore. And the junior middleweight championship belongs to this man, Roberto Duran of Panama. Celebrations are rampant in the ring for Duran. As almost from the very start, you see this kind of action now.
Roberto Duran just battering Davey Moore. This is near the point where the referee will stop the fight. At this point, Moore was literally out on his feet. And what's impressive is Duran punching in combinations. This is what you hadn't seen much of from Duran in recent fights, especially in his loss to Wilfred Benitez for the junior middleweight title, the other junior middleweight title, but now he's back.
Well, the climax to the climb to the top by Roberto Duran. More on Super Bouts in a moment.